I'll play a little bit of Final Fantasy VII original. Okay. Right now, I just woke up, and now I'm doing a fasting for a little bit. Not too long though. I'm gonna try to do maybe about 2 hours. I don't need to do too much more than that. 2 or 3 hours, maybe. People think fasting's bad. I would have to say, here's how fasting works. If you ate food before you went to bed, and your normal body ratio of burning off calories is expunged, as in you can't burn off all the excess calories, then you have to fast in the morning because you ate before you went to bed. So if you ate an hour before you went to bed, normally if you ate any type of proteins with carbs, stuff like that, it's normally like 2 to 4 hours for fully digested. So during your sleep, as your metabolism actually is slower, because you're sleeping, you're not moving, you're just using your normal muscle mass, your normal resting period, which mine's about 1,900 calories. So if I ate too much food and I overwent my calories, which I know I didn't, not even fucking close, honestly. You can fast for a multiple amount of hours to so-called get over or put yourself in a more of a decent. Hold on. I'm saying you put you put yourself more in what was it called? A decent, I guess, in calories, so that your body could be able to lose more weight. Now you can drink water. You definitely drink water while you're fasting, but you can't eat. You can't eat anything. You can't have anything that breaks down in your stomach that turns into fuel. So no sugars or anything. So you can't like drink a soda in that, because that's not how it works. I already got that. I don't need more earth. Okay, what can I get on my guy? I got underlying birth. I got too many. I'll have to get my heals down. I don't really use heal too much. Yeah. This game's not massively hardcore with poison and that. So, like, there's no need for me to use heal. Unless it's like stone or something like that, then obviously I'll use it. But you get ribbons and. Oh man, okay. Magic's almost at 50. Nice. I think I gotta go buy some armlets. I don't think I have enough money to buy shit. But yeah, I'm trying it out. I'm still below my normal. Okay, these guys only give me mithril. Yeah, I should have stole those carbon bracelets. Yeah, there's no point buying any of this shit. No, fuck Tifa. Tifa sucks. Yeah, you heard me, fanboys. Tifa sucks. She's horrible at the remake. Or not remake, but she's great at the remake, but she's horrible in she's horrible in this way. She's not really that good. We're gonna go to the Suproff story, baby. Yeah. But yeah, it's all about how much food you have in your body throughout the whole entire day. And what people don't notice is that they'll eat so much food that they don't realize that they're not digesting all of it, and they always have food in their stomach. People say, "Oh, you gotta have food in your stomach for your metabolism to go up." Yeah, you do, but the problem is you're not letting your body fully digest, so you're putting just so much food in it that your body can't digest it, so that's how you get fat. Your body's digesting too much. Yes, your metabolism goes up when you have food in your stomach. So any amount of food. You don't need to fill up your fucking stomach to full every time you eat a meal. More or less, you fill your stomach up to a certain amount of fullness. So if you're eating a lot of carbs and that, no wonder you're never full, because carbs break down very fucking easily. So after like 20 or 30 minutes, carbs are already in their state of digestion. You got, say, 10 hours or 12-hour days of you being up. 16 hours at max. So saying that a whole entire day, you have to eat every like 45 minutes to an hour. You know how many calories you're going to dump into you? That's what it is. That's why I tell you to eat more protein-based things, because protein matters a lot. That's why we eat more protein, because protein takes a longer time and it actually burns off more calories to burn them off because it takes more time. That's why you see bodybuilders, or can't say bodybuilders, but natural lifters, all they eat is protein. They eat protein with carbs, so they'll eat like crispy fried chicken, but they'll have it to where it's not super fatty, it's cooked really good. Why? Because that's an enormous amount of protein with carbs and with a little bit of fat to it. Now you don't eat so much of that. People over exaggerate how much they eat, like cereals. Cereals are good in the morning, but you're not getting enough fucking protein. So eating like 2 sausage patties with a decent bowl of cereal, say like a cup and a half or so, which is not a lot of cereal if you really think about it. It's actually a very small amount. So I say if you want to do 2 cups of cereal with 2 sausage patties, and what milk you want to drink, normal, whole milk, 2% milk, 1% milk, slim milk, or drink almond milk, whatever the fuck you want to drink. You can drink, your mama's breast milk for all I fucking care. Which is probably a lot more healthy for you. So start grabbing on some big old milky ass titties and be like, give me some milk! Start squirting that shit out. You'd be surprised. That shit's healthier than the milk that you actually are drinking. So girls breastfeeding, tell her pump on a gallon for you. Shit, she probably make hella money off of it. It's way healthier. But I'm going through this cycle because my weight's finally, I'm keeping it down. I may think that I might be losing muscle mass. I don't believe I am. I still look as big as I always did. My strength hasn't really gone down barely at all. But strength and muscle mass have nothing to do with each other, honestly. Strength is neurological. Your muscles need to be big enough to be able to pick it up, of course. But there's people that have more muscle than me, supposedly, and probably can't even lift as much as I can, to a certain extent. As in, like, certain lifts. Like, the biggest thing I'm working on is bench. So I'm working on my chest. My chesticles. My chest of testicles. Chesticles. So I'm working on that. And because that's my weakest part, kind of, is my chest. And I figured out a good way to do it. It works out really well. I don't need to do shit. Let's let Sephiroth kill him. He just kills your guy anyway. And then he revives you. 14. Yeah. But yeah, it's just a functional thing. Like, it's all about how much you really want to take care of yourself. Because anyone that's over a normal ratio of body fat, so a woman's 20%, a man's 15%, that's the average ratio. Everyone's most likely over that. there's not a lot of people that don't have the genetics to just be 15% body fat naturally. I see more of skinny women than I do see of skinny guys. Isn't that weird? Like, most of the time, everywhere I go, if a woman's like in her 20s or 30s, normally they're not chunky. Guys are always chunky. I mean, I barely ever see guys that are really in good shape unless I go to the gym, obviously. But I always see chunky guys. And it's so funny. It's like, how could guys be chunky? They have less fatty cells. They're not supposed to be. But there's still a good variation of genetics being shitty, or whatever you've eaten, or whatever medicines you're taking. So if everyone got off all their medicines and did natural shit, you'd be very surprised how much, difference you would be. Honestly. I'm gonna put my camera down a little bit. Top of my head's cut off. Up a little bit. I love Barrett. There, Joe, look at that damn headless spook living in Chinner building. That's right. He's like, let me hear Cloud has to say. This question's like, Tiff, I was only. Childhood friend reunion. You know what's so funny about this? The way that Tifa just stated that statement is proof enough to see what he actually does know, because Tifa actually knows what actually happened to a certain extent. She doesn't realize that Cloud was in the normal soldier, grunt soldier suit. Neither does Cloud, but you didn't figure out later on about that. But she thinks that you weren't there at all. He thinks that he was there. So it's all a fucked up story. Only one that knows is Sephiroth. But he's fucking dead, at least for the most part. Hmm. Yeah, fuck. I don't know if I have to do anything with this part or not. If there's any specific thing I have to do. Okay, I already got the ton of the scissors. Peacemaker? What the fuck is a peacemaker? Oh, okay. That's when what? That's when I'm in the story? Why would I get an item in the story? It doesn't make any fucking sense. Where the fuck is Tiff's house? Is Tiff's house? He doesn't even know! Could you shut the fuck up and let me go in the damn room? I never do that. Yeah. You remember what he said? Oh my god, I guess he did. I've never done this before, and of all my years of living, ever since this game came out, I never went up here and actually did this. It's always surprised. Look, I've never done this before. I looked it up on the manual, but I've never actually done it. Wow, I'm 31 years old, so this game came out in 97. Holy shit. I've never done this. In like 24, 20, I would say about 20 years. Find out that Shinra. That little statement saying I'm gonna find out. You know, my parents tell me I'm gonna find a good job with Shinra and that. Just think about how our government has been, or how fucked up our government is. How people like insistently when they get a government job, they're like, "Oh my god, thank you," da, 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 da. And then they sit there and they have their little little fancy fucking life and that. They have their children that the white picket fence and bullshit and that. And then later on in life, you know, they sit there and they're fucking miserable because they find out that they lost their job. Like, oh, we had to cut off 200,000 people from the mail service because, you know, we don't have room. And it's like, dude, you said when I got into that my job's it's supposed to stay there until I retire. Well, complications came up, man. Yeah, I don't know. It's not me. It's my boss. You know, his boss. You know, and all of a sudden, no one has. They all lose their jobs, and everyone commits suicide and shit, and they all go down in the fucking into hell, and they're all getting fucking killed and shit. I watched this Dante Inferno thing, and this guy was. It's called Myth and Fiction, Mythical and Fiction. Fictional, whatever the fuck it is. I think it's one of them sayings. He was actually explaining the actual poetry, that Dante was an actual poet. He wasn't a fucking fighter like they think. Dante was an actual poet, And he got Virgil was a poet too, but he's a dead poet. He was a enlightened poet, but he was helping people out to relieve their sins. So he pushed people through hell to relieve their sins. So he put Dante through hell. And evidently, I guess Dante died or something, or supposedly he didn't die. Supposedly he was alive. So I don't know how the hell he went through purgatory and that, but like, evidently he guided him through there to alleviate his sins. You'd be surprised how many sins that we all have. Just because of the new like day of living, it's completely different. Like, a lot of people are not as bad as other, but when it comes down to higher up 1%ers, they're the worst sinners. Like, they have a potential to be the worst sinners, so to speak. So I want to talk about this for a little bit because it's very interesting. Because I just learned that, like, that concept, and I always thought about it. I'm like, huh. So you got the 7 deadly sins. The 7 deadly sins are not the worst sins, okay? So the 7 deadly sins are just the normal sins that we do every day, basically, depending on which sin you do. So most sins that people normally do in between, you know, lust, gluttony, greed, most likely greed nowadays. Them 3 are probably the sins. You got envy, you got a couple other sins that. But, you know, gluttony, greed, and lust are normally the 3 sins that everybody does. I don't give a shit how pure you think you are. There's always a way that you're doing that in a way. So, like, for instance, greed. Conserving too much and not buying anything, or buying too much. And them are the two just basic ones, but they go in depth. So, like, if someone buys too much materialistic things because they don't believe in themselves, they don't love themselves, like I've been talking to them basically in most of my Just Talks, you gotta love yourself. You gotta know yourself. Because when you go into that transition of using materialistic things to make yourself feel good, you could buy materialistic things, but they shouldn't be super emotionally attached to you. Only reason why everything's emotional attachment to a certain extent, like a very small amount, is because you bought it. It's yours, so you have to have some sort of care for it because you don't want it to break. Okay? And it's not talking about that. It's talking about overly obsessively, like, caressing your fucking remote control and be like, oh yeah, oh, you're my best remote control ever. People do that. They go crazy. Like, they'll get like a different color, like a really cool ass remote control, and they'll like do really weird stuff to it. Now you can get it, obviously. You can get a really cool remote control and idolize it because you bought it. It looks really cool. You're like, man, I really like this remote control. It looks really cool. But when you idolize it too much, it's all about too much of it. Then you start to transition into that sin of greed. Because then you're being greedy over it. This remote control broke. You would be furious over it. And then what does that lead to? Furious. Anger. That's another sin. It's another sin that we do all the time. Now, these sins are not necessarily being, this normal sins, like simple emotions, like anger and that, normally don't lead to you doing the bad sins, as in killing someone or, doing something rational, like, hurting your family or hurting your friends, stuff like that, which everybody does to a certain extent. Because some of us are raised to be these unorthodox dumb fucks that don't really have a way to go through that, a way to balance it out. They normally just say, I'm just angry all the time. I'm happy I'm enlightened. And now that I know the basics of it and that, and the guy explained it in very good detail. Now, this is just a story, but it makes really good sense. It makes very damn good sense because he explained it in every little detail about like certain sins and how they are, and why people go to hell and why people go to purgatory, which is basically a sin releaser. Basically, what they do is someone goes to purgatory, they're judged based upon their sins. Some people just go straight to hell. Like, if you kill someone, you murder someone, you're in hell. 100%. So all these people that murder, child molest, they're all in hell. 100%. There's no chance for them to get out of fucking hell. They'll live their whole entire existence, their souls, so to speak, in hell. Now, this is just a story, so it's not really true, but that has the basics of truth. So, and that's what Dante figured out as Virgil was going through the 9 layers of hell. He figured it out. He's like, this is weird, you know, like, da, da, da. Like, he actually was talking to people throughout hell that he actually knew from his, what the fuck was that? That's a big ass noise. Jesus fucking Christ. It's not like a bomb just blew up. It was a firework, but it was loud as fuck. And, like, it was just very interesting. So people have to really look at, do you really want to hate people? Do you really want to hate people? Do you really want to be angry at people? Because, like, say, like, my dad has massive issues with that shit. He's very selfish. He only does stuff for his own attention. And he's one of the bigger sinners. He's honestly one of the bigger sinners, at least in my normal family. Not in the overall family, but my parents and my siblings. Well, he's my parent, but he's one of the biggest sinner. So how I became the way I am, I learned from the way he was and did the opposite. But I give myself leeway. You always gotta give yourself leeway. Like, I don't care too much about things, but I care enough to be able to pursue them. So, like, if you look at the sins that you might create for yourself, so, like, for instance, I had a lot of anger. I had a lot of fury. I had a lot of revenge. I hated people. Like, I hated my brother, Cain and Nabal. You know, when Cain killed his brother, he got sent to fucking hell because he killed his brother over, you know, because one favored him over him, you know, or God or Father or God favored Abel over Cain. Cain didn't like it. Well, that's a fucking sin. They say, you know, you have to be, it's like you have to be, like, resilient with that. As in, you have to be like, that's good that happened. You have to be happy for that person that got a promotion besides you because you weren't ready for it or whatever it might be. That's the biggest thing in life. Things happen for a reason. This is how you fix all your problems. Things happen for a reason. You have to find your fucking reasoning. Stop thinking that things happen because of mistakes that you make. Things happen because they happen. You make mistakes, but there's a reason why you made the mistake. Maybe because you're just stupid. I don't know if that's what you think. But being stupid is just because you're not smart. But stupid means you don't know, as in you haven't learned yet. Then learn, motherfucker. Stop sitting there and saying, I don't want to learn. Some things you never want to learn because of fear, but more or less, let's do small approaches. Today's society is a lot different than it was, you know, 2,000-3,000 years ago. Obviously, yes. But still, there's still a little piece of it that, you know, say, like, some people never get married. Some people never go through things as other people do. But the biggest thing is to understand. To approach your life. And not a lot of people don't care, because we're all brainwashed. I'm unbrainwashing myself. I'm pulling that shit out of my head. I'm learning new shit as I go along. Most people have fictional matrix. They live in a fictional world. It's not fucking real. You'd be surprised when people wake up in the morning. They know absolutely nothing. Nothing. They go to work, they come home, they play video games, they jack off, they do all this stuff and that. And they go back to bed. They might have a couple friends, you know, hang out and that, you know, after work and that, or whatever it is. That's their life. They don't know anything. There's like, I know stuff. I'm like, going to college doesn't make you know anything unless you go into deep, like, studies about emotions or about, you know, certain things that actually make sense. Emotions and sins are all connected. That's why they're sins. They're emotionally connected. So if you learn how to control your emotions and understand that you have to be happy for yourself and for others, to understand the complexity of why we are such bad people, just love yourself and love others. I mean, Jesus stated that multiple times in the Bible, and we all read the Bible. We all read parts of the Bible. We all went to church at least probably for a year or so, or at least for a little while. I mean, like, people that say they're atheists, they're the bigger believers out of all of them. Why? They may not believe there's God, but at least they're not completely bad people. I mean, if they are, then that's a percentage of them. There's always a percent of people that are going to be bad. Between all cultures, all races, whatever. But who fucking cares about everybody else? Care about yourself and say the people around you. You don't need to care about what's on the news, because that's not important to you. Oh, I had to give remorse because people are dying in Florida after that collapse. You're not in Florida. If you're in that region, I understand, but do you know anyone that died? You would say probably no. If you did understand, and that's all it is. You gotta push yourself to be more happier about yourself. I know people that are more beautiful than me, and that's a hard turn taken. They're very pretty men, super good shape, but they're fucking miserable. They got a girlfriend, hot fat ass. They get laid all the time. They're miserable. They got a good job. They're making money. They're taking care of themselves, but they're miserable. How? I don't have any of that. What the fuck's your problem? Are you that fucking dense that you don't realize what the fuck you even have? Yeah, that's how most people are. You never know what you have until you fucking lose it all. I can lose everything and I still know who I am. I might be bored, I might be slightly upset, but I'm not gonna walk over like, oh god, I'm so depressed because I don't have my TV. I don't have my video game consoles. You ever thought about the shit that you didn't have back then? When you say if you're born in the 90s and that? Give me a break, guys. Give me a break. We walk through this life being spoiled rotten. Even if we don't have money, we're still spoiled. Still fucking spoiled. And that's all it is. We're still spoiled. This part's so funny. That's her parents' room. Why is Tiffany's room bigger than her parents' room? Tiffany's room's enormous compared to her parents' room. That's funny. See, they burn like coal or wood in that. They keep their house heated. That's a nice place. You gotta think about it. Let's go. That was awesome. Never did that before. Let's go. You know what's so funny is that martial arts has trained his whole entire life, but Sephiroth can still kick his fucking ass. Sephiroth's like abnormally fucking powerful. That's the only thing about genetics. When you are genetically prone to being massively powerful compared to every other human being, you'd be very surprised why people think everyone's on steroids. Some people aren't, but it's a very small percentage. Like, when I look at myself, I'm curious about how strong I'm going to get, you know, in my whole entire life. I'm rather old, but you know, I'm curious about how much I can gain and how much mass I can gain. Man, I'm still doing pretty good. By fasting, it's already been like an hour or something since I've been awake. I'm not really feeling really hungry right now. A little bit, but not like a lot. My stomach's empty, which is good. That's what I want. But my digestive tract is probably still digesting the food from last night. Yeah, if you gotta watch this, watch the 4-star, 4-star ball channel, the Final Fantasy VII Machine Bridge, a bridge. It's amazing. Like they do the story, not really well, obviously, because it's just making fun of shit, but they go pretty deep into it. Every time anyone takes an old game like this is a legendary game. By far, this is going to be the most legendary game ever. Remake is not even going to spark to this. I'm sorry. It won't. It never will. Unless they make the remake specifically like this, which they did to a certain extent besides the ending. Unless they changed it with the new DLC, which I'm sure they did. Because they had to. Because Game Base was fucking pissed. Well, what they said about the ending of the remake, they're all like, well, we did it like this because we wanted to make sure that newcomers don't even know the fucking original. So why would you change it anyway? That's what they said. They said, oh, because if new people come in, we want to have something different. They don't know the original one anyway. That's fucking stupid. So someone in their 20s is playing this that wasn't even born when this game came out, so to speak, because you wouldn't be born. You born like 2000, 2001, you wouldn't even play the fucking game. Maybe you probably did, honestly. But say about the time you got old enough, say 2008, 2010, maybe 2012, you might have maybe played the game, but I doubt it. Maybe because your father probably played in that. They wouldn't even fucking know the damn thing. So fuck off, stupid morons. Yeah, they changed it. Yeah, I remember when I got to this part and I was like, man, Sephiroth's super powerful, and this is like when I first played it. And then all of a sudden I was just like, oh, you get way more powerful than that by far. Whee! Oh boy. A little chilly. Got all this damn rain. Been raining a lot lately. Hello there, viewer. I'm waiting to see if you're gonna leave because I had like 3 people just like come in and out really quick. They always do that. They don't even say hi. He's like, ooh. If you're wondering, yes, I don't have sound. Or not sound, but music. Well, I didn't know it made that sound. That's kind of cool. Made that ooh sound. I'm hearing new sounds because music always compensates over the sound. Actually, it's... See. I mean, you would hear this with the music, but you hear more in depth, which is really nice. Real life, we don't have music, okay? So this is pretty normal. Materials like waiting for a diamond, well, too cold to become a diamond. That's basically what they're stating. He's like, Cloud, you're an idiot. You're a soldier. You sure already know to make a magic net. Hmm. Mm. Let's say something funny. It was Hojo. I would like to see any woman that's actually attracted to Hojo, like someone actually played this or played the remakes, like, man, Hojo's hot. I'm sure there's one girl out there that's like got some weird fascination about trolls or some bullshit like that. Like watches troll porn and shit. They're all like, oh my god, it's my thing. And they look at Hojo, they're like, oh my god, he's so hot. I'm sure there's one girl out there, maybe multiple, that like that shit. Oh, there's always one. Just think about that. It's fucking hilarious. There's always one person that does something, however fucked up it might be. Oh, that's so funny. That is fucking hilarious. Ugh. And yes, I'm not using any cheats or any type of battle command crap that makes you stronger. That was the cheats that they give it to you, triple speed and that. I used it in my last game. Triple speed, I guess, is okay, but you get used to it, and it makes the game too fast. Cause you can get done with everything super quick, and I'd rather prolong this game as much as I can. Why not? It's a 40, 50 hour game, and it just makes more videos of it, I guess. But yeah, this... I always played this game. Now I'm playing it with no music, so I'm getting a little bit of a hindsight of something different. So it just feels different. It feels like I'm playing it again for the first time. So I'm hearing different sounds. There's a couple of things I never did, like during this story and that, how I went into Tifa's house and I read a bunch of letters and that I never read before. Never did it before my whole entire life. I have a strategy guy. I have two of them actually. I don't know if you can get to see it. I have two strategy guys. I have the PC one, and then I have the original one that came out for PlayStation. Now the biggest thing is, the original one has less detail, which is stupid because it's for PlayStation, you know? The PC one has enormous amount of more detail. And no, these aren't, well, they're original because they're still the same ones. They don't make them anymore, but I bought them off of, I don't know where I bought them off of. I was just looking up. I bought them off of the site, and and I spent like almost $90 for both of these. Now, was it worth it? It's cheaper than a video game, honestly. I mean, when these came out, I think one of these still has a price tag on it or whatever. It was like $8, $15 or something. But I miss strategy guys. I fucking hate internet stuff. Strategy guys, yes, you get all the information, but if you're playing the game, you're going through page after page, you don't get everything all at once. Unless you just read it all like an idiot, then you just figure out everything. But still, you still don't figure out every little thing. That's why I don't like reviewers on YouTube or people that do reviews. A lot of times they say too much. They talk too fucking damn much because they're all excited and they're all blowing their loads all over the place. I get very irritated with that crap. So I say to them, stop. Just let people stop doing it. Well, I gotta get views. Yeah, I understand that. Blah, 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 blah. You don't have to watch it. Yeah, I don't have to watch it. Well, if it pops up and say, like a game I probably won't play, I like watching reviews of that because then I don't have to play it. I don't have to spend money on it. I already know the ending of it. I already know the story. But for some games that you might like when Final Fantasy Remake came out, I didn't watch any actual reviews of it. I stayed away from everything. I watched some things that kind of ruined a little bit of it, but it made it more fresh. Nothing's fresh nowadays. You know how to do everything. You can't figure out how to like make certain foods. You go online, it's online. So even with my food, I like being slightly creative. So I changed my thing. Like yesterday, I made white rice with chicken. I put green onions in there. I put allspice in there. I put a little bit of butter in there. And I put my chicken in my rice as it was kind of almost done for the moisture value. It turned out really good. The green onions were crunchy. They had a good flavor to it. It was really good. Could have been better. Yeah, I used frozen chicken, so I could have sauteed my chicken that a little bit better than that. And I put soy sauce in there, so everything mixed up. And the moisture of the rice was so high that it actually made like pretty much like a sauce base with it a little bit, where the rice was sticking together a little bit. A little bit, not like a lot where it's mushy. But it was enough to be like stuck together where it tasted different than the other time. Kazula, who doesn't like fully cooked rice? You know how you don't know how to cook rice? You think you have to keep the heat on? Well, you don't actually. You don't have to. You can actually turn the heat off and just let it simmer for like 10, 15 minutes, something like that. Just add stuff to it. Fuck, just throw a bunch of shit in there. Throw onions in there. You can use sausages. Take course cooked sausage. You gotta cook it too. A really good sausage that has like a lot of flavor in it. You chop it up. Of course, you chop it up in quarters. And you sit there and you put it in there, and all of a sudden the moisture of the rice and the flavor of the broth or the sausage will go into the rice, and all of a sudden you got a good tasting rice. It might take a little bit of time. You got to put an even amount of sausage in there. So if you do 2 cups of rice, so to speak, you probably want to do 2 sausages and try to even it out. Yes, it's gonna be quite a lot. The sausage is gonna be overwhelming, especially you chop it up rather small. But it works. Rice is a good thing that brings in almost every food. Especially if you make curry in that. I think it's called curry. Yeah, curry. We actually have curry sauce, and you make your own sauce. You can get very creative with cooking, just like a video game. That's what I'm based it off of. Video games are very creative. It's like making food. Sometimes they get shitty ass food. You play a game, you're like, man, it's like me eating It's like me eating really nasty Taco Bell. When it's all soggy and that because they don't know how to make their meat right. I used to work at Taco Bell, so I know that sometimes they'll do it, but it's not too bad. Everything's frozen and pre-made. Like everything. Basically, what they do at Taco Bell is they put everything in vacuum seals, and they put them in these like jet water cookers where the water goes up to like 180 degrees or something like that, or like it's like over 100 degrees, and it's slowly like not really cooked because it's already cooked. It slowly just moisturizes it, cooks it a little bit. No, it's over 100 degrees. I think it's like 180 degrees, something like that. Now it's at the point where it's boiling, so it's hot enough to steam but not enough to boil, which would be, yeah, about 180 somewhere over there. But yeah, it's just very interesting that like when you look at life and how all the things you can do, you just be creative. And if you make a shitty ass dish of food, it's probably because you add too much salt. Salt is the main base for almost every food. You need salt. You need quite a bit of salt. You know, you need 3,300 and something milligrams of salt a day. And some people don't even eat that much salt. There's sometimes I have salt problems where I have to eat more salt. I can feel my temperature going down, and salt actually activates your body to make more heat. It helps moderate your water because you need salt to be able to absorb water into your muscles. Well, if your muscles don't get water in them, they can't really heat up. So you end up getting cold. You end up getting cold muscles. And then your body ends up going through this cycle of trying to figure out what the fuck your dumbass is doing wrong, which is obviously you being a stupid ass motherfucker not eating right. Because that happens quite a bit too. Everything's all about balance. Especially when you go to work and that. Work kind of sucks because when you go to work and that, you're not really hungry. Because like if you just wake up and like an hour later you go to work, don't eat anything big. Your best thing to do is eat something small. So I have about 20 grams of protein, and then I have like 20 grams of carbs. How much that would be in calories? 160. So it'd be 160 calories just to wake you up. That may not be a lot, obviously, but you're still waking up. So you're gonna have your coffee. You're gonna eat some food and that, you know. I mean, you can probably eat a little bit more carbs than that if you choose to, but you can keep it rather small because you're waking up. So your stomach's not even fully like awake all the way because your stomach goes into like a very slow state of digestion. And it still digests, but it doesn't digest as much as it would as you were awake because your metabolism's lower, so you feel like you don't need food, so you don't digest as much. God damn. This part's amazing. This part categorizes what Sephiroth actually is, but not. So Sephiroth goes mentally insane because he figures out that he's basically an alien. He thinks he's an He thinks he's an ancient, but he's actually an alien. Which I don't understand that because I think that Genova's an ancient, but why would Genova be an ancient when Genova came from the sky? That doesn't make sense. That's too stupid. What the fucking backward shit. But I guess Dr. Gask and Hojo were the ones that were researching it. Gask figured out evidently that it wasn't an ancient, it was just an alien. And Hojo kept on believing it was an ancient, I'm assuming. Because he's a fucking weirdo and he likes probably like sticking alien dicks in his ass or something like that because he's fucking weird. That's a pretty cool ass library. This part is very, very important. Not even because of the game, because of real life. Just to say, if someone was a homeless person, and to say they were, not very intelligent, didn't have a lot of education, and they figured out that they were a prince, how much power you gain in that brief moment of understanding that you have more higher standing than most humans do. That's kind of how like Sephiroth is. He's going for a second. okay, I'm a prince now? What the fuck? I'm a king? All of a sudden you rule a land? Just imagine how much power would go to your head if you just figured out that. It's like one day someone, like a group of like security people walk up to my house and say, "You're the chosen one. We need you to come in. We'll give you everything you want. You need to, enlighten the world with your greatness." Come on now. We all think about that shit. We all have some type of fantasy with that. But no, it's true. I don't know. They're going to be true, y'all. You'll never know how you are. Yeah. But this kind of explains Hootie Tootie people. But then again, he's using it as like a really weird way. Like, I am more superior than everybody else. Well, technically you are, Sephiroth. You are the strongest fucking human in Gaius. I think it's called Gaius. Or Gaia. Because he is. He's the strongest person in Gaia. But the funny thing is that he was born with Genova cells. So he was actually carnated as Genova cells. So he's partially Genova and human. Most of these other guys were just injected with the cells, and the cells attached to their cells to make them soldier. But they said they used Mako. Well, Mako's not Genova. Mako's actually the opposite of Genova. Mako's actually Lifestream, actually, the Ancients. So Genova and Mako are two different things. I didn't realize that until I thought about it just now. Because Mako's the Lifestream, which is part of the Ancients, or ancient-based culture, how to make materia and that. So it has nothing to do with Genova. That's probably the reason why certain soldiers were stronger than other soldiers. So, like, I'm guessing the people with Genova cells were Sephiroths, basically. So, like, Cloud and Zack were both connected with Genova cells. That's the reason why Zack is so powerful. And Cloud ended up becoming that powerful, too. Even though the remake says, oh, you were showered in Mako, and that's why you have those eyes. But he was just connected with Sephiroth genes. He wasn't just showered in Mako. And right now, I'm starting to get really fucking hungry. My stomach's starting to wake up now. So I estimated about 2.5 hours of fasting in the morning. I guess I was fasting. My stomach finally woke up. I could feel my stomach start to be like, oh my god, I'm getting hungry. So, as research, I'm going to try to prolong this for another hour maybe and see what happens, and then eat and see how my body reacts to it. So I was listening to Greg Doucette. He's a bodybuilder, and this one guy, he's an actual, like, muscle doctor, whatever their names are called. He knows all about nutrients, and he's a bodybuilder too. And he says, a normal heart rate burns off more fat than a higher heart rate, which is basically saying your normal metabolism burns off fat. When you have a higher heart rate, you're more or less burning off carbs and glycogen, which is what we have in our muscles. Which everything becomes glycogen, fats, protein, everything becomes glycogen. Which is basically sugar. That's why sugar's not really bad for you if you're gonna lift weights. Oh, this sounds so creepy. Look how creepy it sounds. You're like, you never had it without sound. That sounds so creepy. Oh my gosh. That sounds way better. Music's good. But yeah, I already know how this music is, so I don't have to listen to it. Anyone that's played this game multiple times, obviously is going to know what the music sounds like. But I'm learning, I'm hearing new stuff, so it's making me a little more happier. Oh man, yeah, I'm definitely going to have to eat after this. Shit's hurting. Stomach's about to growl. I don't know what I want to eat. I did French toast yesterday. French toast is too much. Could do eggs, but I don't know if I want to do eggs. Mother, I'm here to see you. Please open the door. I could do that to pop on the whole townspeople. Supper, I was like, ha! People. You have nice boobs! I always expect women get more leadway. Especially if it's a man. It might be a different breed of man, but you still have nice tits. That's one of the things I talked about. I watched the mythical fiction about Watchers, which is the people that watched over the earth at the time of Noah and that. Which is why there was giants in that. And, oh, fuck. I hate y'all. I wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Yeah, slap yourself in the face wakes you up. Yes, I'm not mentally insane, just slightly insane. Ship her off! My family, my hometown. How could you do that to them? They come again, Mama. With her superior power and knowledge of magic, Mother destined to become ruler of this planet. But those worthless creatures, are stealing the planet from Mother! But now I'm here with you. Sounds fucking creepy. Don't worry. I won't hurt you. I'm just mentally insane. Mother. Kind of nice boobs, I guess. Got an eyeball for a nipple. Why would you have that? Why would anyone be created like that? What the fuck? What about my sadness? My family's friends. The sadness of having my town taken away from me. It's the same as your sadness. Supper was like, please, bitch. My sadness. What do you have to be sad about? I've been the chosen one. I have been chosen to be the leader of this planet. What's to be sad about? Or to take the planet back. You stupid people, etc. For the etc. Okay, so you stupid people for the etc. To take back the planet from the stupid people from the center. So he thinks he's an ancient, but he's not. Okay, whatever. I don't know how the fuck you... Whatever. What should be sad about? Bro, I trusted you. No, you're not the Sephiroth I used to know. Penis. 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 And that's the end of my story. I love Bird. What a goddamn minute. It was actually goddamn minute. That's it. No more. I don't remember. What was that one? Ton of skills. I couldn't have killed him. I love Erin. She's so smart. Just right there just tells you how fucked up our world is. Shinnerik owns the newspaper, so you can't reply on that. News media owned by big corporate, which is funnel in with government stuff. Not all government people, but I love how this game specifically is saying this time of age actually reads like Shinra's like part of our government. They fucking lie. They don't give a shit. They never did. The 1%ers, the big families that own the fucking world, which they do. There's two to three families that own all resources, all ways of living. There has to be someone that owns it. There has to be someone that has all the money. Really think about it. You research this stuff. Be surprised. I know two families. Rothschilds, Rockefellers. And another family. How do you know them? You should know them. They own our fucking world. They own all the resources. All of them. So every time you buy something, they get a little bit of money for that. Because they own it all. Just imagine how rich, which is, it's not even rich anymore. It's just massively fucking godlyhood. These people have quadrillions of dollars. Yes, I put a Q in front of trillion. Quadrillions. You'd be super surprised how they create war because they're bored. You ever had a switch that you can flip, it turns on the light? That's how it is then with war. Why? Because they own everything. They're like, war Middle East. Been going on forever. That's what happened when Bush came in. There's like, well, he's the right president. Let's just flip on the war machine again. And all of a sudden, everything started happening. 9/11. We did it, okay? No one. How does a fucking plane go inside our country with no one watching it? And look, they're like this. It's okay, just come on through. Come on through, terrorists. And say they couldn't catch these motherfuckers before they got on the plane. Really? Really? No. They turned a blind eye to it because they knew what was going on. They specifically planned it out very neatly and say, terrorists. Bush was friends with bin Laden for a long time. For a long time. They used to eat dinner and that. They used to share life stories and that. So you're saying, no, he did this? He used them to get more resources. For who? The families. Because they don't care. Whatever, fuck you guys. The families are like Sephiroth. The Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, they're like Sephiroth. We don't give a shit about anybody lower than us. Nobody. Anyone that works for us or anything, they don't care. If you're not in their bloodline, they don't give a shit. Now I'm saying not all of them are like that, evidently. Because I believe some of their children or great-great-grandchildren, because they've been around for fucking ever, probably look at it as like, this is not that good. Why we do this? Well, because we're the richest. We're the best of the best. So everyone thinks they're making hundreds of thousands of dollars thinking that they're precious. You ain't worth shit. You're like a drop in a fucking world bucket compared to these people. You ain't able to make billions of dollars. You're 2 drops in the world bucket. For people like normal people, I would say millionaires and billionaires are probably 1 drop, 2 drop. Then trillionaires are 3 drops. These guys are the whole ocean. Okay? Because they own too much. It's like, when do you ever see anyone ever have a quadrillion dollars? You fucking tell me. No, never. Not one person. Being a billionaire is like, man, I got a lot of money. But you don't own continents, okay? You don't own anything that's worth that while. You own a fucking building and maybe some land. They own continents. Continents. You may say, how? Well, when you own all the resources, you kind of own that fucking damn thing that owns you. This shit happened during the Rockefeller age. I'm saying like 100 or so years ago, when all this shit started happening with the Rothschilds, the banks, and everything. Rothschilds are ones that started the Federal Reserves, which own us. They own our livelihoods, everything. The only reason why it looks like they don't own us, well, because we don't notice it. So once you notice it, you start realizing, like, holy shit, I don't even own my house unless I fully pay it off. The banks own it. How many people put out additional loans on their house? A lot of people do. A lot of people rely on the banks. That's why they're always broke. My parents are always broke. They may not look like they're broke because they can pay bills and that, but they never have excess money, which means you're broke. All your money goes towards bills. Not saying all our money goes towards bills, but enough of it does. How about that? I need to give him... You give him... Give him this. Because the snake always knocks out one person, so it doesn't even fucking matter. See if I can get beta. Beta. Probably not. There's only one time I made it all the way across, so it's not the snake getting me. And yes, the snake doesn't... He will never kill you, honestly. I'll fuck you up. Oh god, I'll fuck you up. Hey! Fuck off. I don't think it's gonna turn out too well. He hit the wrong person. Fuck you, snake man. Hey, red bite cloud. Or Barrett. Good job, Barrett. It's because Barrett died. That's fucking hilarious. Stop fucking biting Barrett, you bastard. There he goes. Yeah, if you use heal every time he bites you, he can't really kill you until he uses beta. This way doesn't knock out the wrong person. Stop biting my guys, you fucking twat. That's what I love about this game. When you go magic, you have so much of it. Like, you can last for extreme amounts of times. I guess if you want to get up your limit break, you can just do this. It does work out really well. get on. Stop biting my fucking guy. Oh, knocked out bear. Perfect. The cool thing is, now it doesn't matter if I die or not. I have to just stay alive until I use, I'm about to have him defend. How am I going to use his limit break? Yeah, it does. It takes twice as less. So defending's actually not that bad. After what I know he's gonna use beta now. Oh fuck! I hope he survives it. I'm sure he can. I hope. Nope. It said I learned it, but you don't learn it when you're fucking dead. Yeah. That's fucking so trashy. I did all that work for fucking nothing. Whatever. Fuck you, snake bitch. I just need to get up more life. Might battle around for a little bit and give me some more experience. Oh man, this fasting's kicking my ass. Oh man. Look, I'll save up my limit break. Oh, that's right. He's got the enemy skill. Shit, I forgot about that. Magic sucks dick, man. Yeah, beta is like extremely powerful. Beta's ridiculously powerful. If I'm gonna level up, I'm going to switch materials then. Because his magic sucks compared to Cloud's. Cloud has ridiculously good magic and like strength. Like he's overall the most powerful character, obviously. Maybe between him and Eris might have slightly more magic, but Cloud has almost more strength. And then compared to Barret, Cloud's strength is on par with Barret's. Like it's really close to Barret's. They didn't show his stats at the end. But Cloud's normally like maybe like 5 away from Barret if you level up 99. Now Barret does have more life, obviously. He gets way more life than anyone. I don't think there's anyone else that gets more life than him. I don't know if he gets the second most life. I don't know if it's your guy or not. I can't remember. It could be. Playing this with no sound. Interesting. Or no music, I mean. I think the best way to fast is to play a video game or watch a movie. Keep your mind focused. You be able to fast rather good, especially morning time. Get all the leftover shit in your intestines out. That's what fasting normally does do. You'd be surprised how much crap you get inside your intestines throughout the day from eating.
That's why people have bloated stomachs. More or less, because of that. Thank you. Oh man, that attack is such a bitch. I remember when I was younger, I used to die off those guys. Just because I'd be low level. I wouldn't be 18 now. Like, I get out of Midgar at like 13 or something like that. I'd be really low level. Because you can run through both reactors and barely even level up. You start off at level 7, so you might get up to level maybe 13 at the end of the second reactor. Maybe, more or less you won't. You might be level 10 or 12 at the end of Midgar. Not doing that shit. How the fuck did you miss, you moron? Why do you keep doing that? That's fucking stupid. You have other attacks to do, you fucking piece of shit. Really? I've never seen them do that attack so many fucking damn times. I know it's powerful, but don't let me throw the nuts at you. You fucking twat. Fuck you. Cheap ass bitch. If I were to go cheat mode on you fucking asses, dickhead. You bitch. Fucking stupid. You need a shave. Where was the time? I want to kill him. Stop missing! Oh my god. Fucking hell. You can tell I'm getting slightly frustrated because I guess it missed him. Oh my god, Barrett, you fucking suck, asshole. Fucking bitches. Thank you. So I'm starting to get, like, I guess I never fasted like this before. I'm actually starting to get tired. So I'm gonna fight through for a little bit longer. It's already 8:40. Man, what's the fucking donuts? I always get backstrike from these fucking cocksuckers. Da 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 da. I really hate that I can't have fucking music. Because supposedly I can talk during it, it won't copy claim me, but more or less I can't talk during the whole damn thing because they'll claim me anyway, because they claim me a lot, and I don't feel like going through that stupid fucking garbage bullshit. Only on Final Fantasy Remake and Final Fantasy VII they claimed the fuck out of me. I played Secret of Mana Remake. I played Resident Evil 8, which is a newer game, so I guess they don't care about that. I played Resident Evil 3 multiple times, no copy claims on anything at all. No copy claims on any of their music. What else did I play? I played a little bit of Shining Force 2, but I never really got through with it. But they never claimed any of that music. So why the fuck you copy claim me on Final Fantasy VII music? Because it's owned by... They're all owned by somebody. Sounds like Square Enix is a bunch of greedy-ass douchebags. Fuck off. You know who's gonna go first if there was such thing as a Thanos snap? Pretty much every corporation would go. They all disappear. How are you missing these fucking guys? God damn. Fuck off, bitch. Wasting my time. We're saying that I'm on a low level. Actually, really high for this part. 19. Money. Hour and 30 minutes almost. I think I'm gonna do a couple more battles and then I'm gonna get off because I'm getting tired. I need to eat. This fasting's kicking my ass. The bulk of it, I did a little bit of too much talking there, but whatever. Throw your nuts at me, you fucking bitch! There you go. Still missed the motherfucker. You missed this, you fucking bitch. Come on, dodge it! Fuck you, you dickhead. God, I never miss so much with these guys. I understand if you're low level, but I'm not that low level for these guys. I'm rather high, so... Oh, okay. This takes so long to level up. Not a long time. It's not like Secret of Mana. Secret of Mana takes fucking forever to level up. You don't even get that strong in that game. It's really annoying. Like, you'll get like 1 or 2 damage per level with your main character. Most likely 1. And a lot of the characters you can't never... What the fuck just happened? How'd you miss all 3 of those guys? How? That makes no sense. There you go. What the fuck is the hit percentage of that damn thing? 50%? Stop missing! What the fuck am I missing so much? I have like a 99% chance to hit these motherfuckers. You say I'm missing? Let's look at the let's look at the equipment stats. 100% chance to fucking hit. Maybe with a little bit of dodge, maybe less. Fuck off. Thing is, they don't give me any potions. They're making me high potions, I guess. Well, this is good enough. I'm gonna get off right here. I'm gonna save. I'm getting really hungry. But, yeah. I'll be streaming later today. I know that for a fact. Because I have, oh, fuck. Oh, man. I have one person that comes on, and we like to talk and that, so more or less I have an actual audience. I mean, I have you as an audience, but this person talks to me, so I kind of interact a little bit better. But, yeah. It's always nice to have people watch me, even if it is 1 or 2. You know, it doesn't matter. I'm doing pretty well. I'm getting better with this stuff, getting more, thinking of more things to talk. So I'll, like, research certain things, like the Dante's Inferno thing. That's very interesting stuff. You should go watch it. You know, mythical and fictional or something like that. So you type it in, it'll probably pop it up. It's amazing to learn how the sins are. There's very good detail in that. That was very nice. But, yeah. I'm gonna get going. I'm gonna get some food. And I'll see you later. You have a good one. Think positive and be happy. Because you only live once, at least for what we know. Okay? See you later.